Skal jeg starte?
Ja. Jeg gør det.
Thanks for coming today, and you've just played a song for us, and I'm just wondering if that was a traditional song or that's one of your own compositions.
That was one of my compositions. It's actually very. It's inspired from a trip I had to Cape Breton Island.
To which island?
Cape Breton in Nova Scotia.
Right.
So we went to Canada, and on the plane home I sort of invented these tunes, and yeah, we've been playing them since in the band. So they called the Crossing the Atlantic.
Because you find a lot of connections between that tradition and the Danish tradition.
I find a lot of connections in all. You call it normally you call it the Celtic countries, but a lot of the Danish music sounds much like Celtic music, English or Irish or Scottish music. So we have a lot in common with that tradition, and the whole dance style, like what's called Morris dances and stuff. We have the same things in Denmark, so I think we're very linked to that Celtic music style.
And your audience is because you're very young, and is there's an interest with young people for traditional music?
I think there's a growing interest for young people because when I started out, I was maybe the youngest, but that was as a child. But a lot of the other children I grew up with, they're starting to have children now of their own. So I think the tradition in Denmark is getting younger actually.
That's very interesting.
And when we play, we play at all sorts of venues, and all kinds of ages come to our concerts. It's like, yeah, there's no age minimum and no maximum in our concerts.
And you say you started very young. How young?
I think with the fiddle I started about the age of 9, but I started dancing because my parents, they are sort of keen folk dance people, and they brought me along to everything. And then I just got very fascinated by the fiddle, and an old fiddler who played locally, and he started teaching me how to play the fiddle by saying you can play this string now, and now you can stop. So gradually I became more and more interested in the fiddle, so it just came naturally for me.
And sometimes you play solo, and sometimes you play in a band.
When I play solo, it's mostly for dancing, like really traditional style, where there's one fiddler, one musician, and lots of dancers, and they dance in couples or maybe in squares, or so that's when I play solo. Sometimes I play a duo with Rasmus, as you just heard, and we play all kinds of gigs. That's from birthday parties to church concerts, everything. But the same style of music actually, but just maybe we interpret a bit more because we're two. So when you're one, I play more my traditional style.
And you've travelled, you've played, like, I've seen you played in Shetland Festival?
Yeah, a couple of years ago we played with the band at the Shetland Folk Festival. That was a fantastic festival. Great gigs and fantastic audience. And before that we have been to Scotland a lot. And we're going again here in January to play at the Celtic Connections Festival. Very, very big festival. But yes, the Shetland Festival was one of our great moments.
And you mentioned that you studied, there is a course, a university course to study traditional music now in Denmark. That's quite new.
Yes, we have a folk music academy in Denmark. It's situated in Odense. Not the biggest town in Denmark, but certainly a good starting point for an education, because it's a very small place, and all the other classical music, jazz musicians, they are very keen and interested in the folk music department, and so it really fits well there. And I think there's been a course for now 11 years, I think, and I see all the time some of the young people coming out from that, and they're starting to dominate the whole folk music scene in Denmark. All the inventive new ideas and stuff, they mostly come from that direction.
And they will eventually be the teachers, no?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of good teachers. There's a generation who really saw it as a purpose for them to teach all the tradition that may otherwise be forgotten. So I've had some really good older teachers, and I hope they will still be around for many more years. They're really lots of skilled musicians that they never got an education, but they certainly know how to pass on the traditions.